People have absolutely no respect for the government, unless they're paying for their lifestyle, the person of your party of choice is in charge, or they're straight out just cutting the check. People don't want to hear from the government at all. And honestly, I'm the same way. Unfortunately, these people of power have a lot of control in our lives, depending on how they twist the strings of our puppets around. Well, lately it seems like we might be falling back into a recession, folks. Or more or less, we've been in one for quite some time now, and they're just now addressing it. It's nothing new over here on this channel, is it? Either way, let's talk about it, or continue talking about it. And if you personally feel like you relate to anything discussed in this video, or you just simply like content like this discussing the collapse of society, feel free to like, comment your thoughts and opinions below, and subscribe to see my daily or bi-weekly uploads around here around 12 p.m. Central Time. And a huge shout out to all my supporters, especially my Patreon supporters, my channel memberships, everybody who just rocks with the content around here. You can check out the details, all that stuff down below in the description. Now let's begin.
Trump said last night that we might have a recession. And when it hits in 3 months and everyone blames Biden, just remember Trump was handed the best economy in U.S. history.
Alright, we're getting controversial today, folks. We're going to be playing both sides. I'm going to be playing devil's advocate, and I just like to kind of stay somewhat close to the middle, but we all have our own opinions here, let's be honest. Now, I think it's kind of ironic for him saying that Trump was handed the best economy to ever exist. Fair enough. I think this recession, quote-unquote recession, the Trump session we're about to call it, that's the word you're about to hear in some of these upcoming videos. We're about to cover a couple different newscasts, broadcasting previews, and also a couple different opinions about this whole matter. I think we've been in somewhat called a recession-type-esque era atmosphere for quite a while now. I think if you already have money, you've probably been doing good for a while. If you've been struggling, you've probably been struggling worse now than you have been in quite some time. So I don't think, and honestly, I'm going to say it in the beginning of this video, before I say it time and time again throughout the video. I don't think it matters who's in charge. We're just watching the puppet up there, and then we get distracted by who the person is themselves, not realizing they're not really in control. A lot of people behind the scenes are probably, like I was saying like I was saying in the intro, they're moving the strings of the puppet behind the scenes.
And Biden kept us out of a recession for 4 years, and it only took 4 months for Trump to put us in one.
The Federal Reserve has just issued a warning about an incoming recession right around the corner as a result of some of President Trump's economic policies in what some are now calling the Trump session. Here's the chart from the Atlanta Fed that shows the estimate of what GDP is going to be doing very soon here. And it
looks like it's going down, which I think is bad, folks. Anyway, I'm pretty sure the stock market just hit like one of the newest all-time lows. So that's great. That sucks. Luckily, I don't have anything invested because I'm broke right now. As most of us, especially if you watch this video. I would like to know how many of you guys out here watch this video are struggling yourselves, or you just like to watch this hearing other people who are struggling, because that's most people in these videos, let's be honest. Or people who are rich, sharing their opinion about people who are broke. That's a lot of these videos I cover, but I'd love to know your guys' certain circumstance right now regarding that issue. But yeah. The GDP, yikes.
You look at the blue line, they expect it to fall off the cliff into negative territory. When the GDP number is positive, that indicates economic growth. When that GDP number tips negative, it indicates that the economy is shrinking. When that happens for 2 quarters in a row, that's called a recession. That is, unless, of course, it happens underneath President Biden. You can see on this chart as well, the orange.
That is, of course, unless people here, you can tell who's on whose side here.
Bars, which show the actual change in US GDP. And you can see that the Atlanta Fed's estimates are pretty close and usually fairly accurate. Now, there are quite a few reasons to be concerned about the economy. Consumer sentiment in January slumped to the lowest level in 3.5 years. Retail sales dropped by the most in about 2 years. Real spending has been falling at the fastest pace since 2021. And as you can see from this chart, cities' economic data surprises negative, and it is also the lowest since September.
Low-income America.
Yeah, that's the thing, guys. Nobody's eating out. Everybody's eating at home. People are shacking up, so there's less houses and locations being bought up, and nobody's going on vacation because nobody can buy it. And the people that have been doing it forever, they've just been doing it, so it's nothing new. Yeah, people are eating in. People are not going out. People are doing what they can do to get by. So there's a lot less sales going on around the markets.
Have already been dealing with persistent inflation, high borrowing costs, and cooling pay gains. Now, there is another setback coming for them: tariffs. While importers are the ones paying for the tariffs,
the word tariffs these days is like the word Voldemort, especially if you're in America right now, since Trump's been in office. That's the #1 word that news wants to talk about, is the word tariffs.
They often pass those costs on to consumers. That means all consumers will likely see higher prices for some
I've seen him.
basic
Have you seen him?
goods. But lower income ones tend to spend a higher share of their take-home pay on basic goods, unlike their wealthier counterparts. This money also goes towards vacations, dining out, and concerts, as well as savings and
Vacations, dining out. I pretty much forgot what those even are. I haven't seen those in a few years now.
investments. While President Trump also put tariffs on things like steel the first time he was in office, this time around, they are targeting a slew of consumer goods like food, electronics, and energy. Over 70%
Your bills are
of
going
the
up.
vegetables imported into
Who else got those crazy electricity bills lately? The last 2 months, that's all I've heard all my neighbors, my family members, my friends talking about is they've doubled their electricity. Not to mention the interest rates and the mortgage and rent. It is outrageous right now.
the US come from Mexico and Canada, and 40% of the fruits the US imports alone are from Mexico. Target is
They're
already
raking it in.
warning of
Cha-ching,
higher
cha-ching,
prices
cha-ching,
for
baby.
produce ahead of tariffs. Fuel and electricity prices could also quickly reflect the new policy. Take New York, for example. Ontario, which is such a key source of energy, said it's raising export prices by 25% in response to the US tariffs. Even before they started making headlines, some Americans were already making tough choices. For low-income consumers, the choices might get even tougher going forward.
If Trump has you scared about a recession or the stock market crashing, I need you to understand one thing. And if you understand this one thing, I almost fell, y'all. And if you understand this one thing,
Let's hear it.
you're going to make a lot of money. It is simple. Recessions make millionaires.
I could pretty much cover this whole last video here with one sentence, but let's just hear him out.
The reason is, it's just that everything is going to be on sale. So as an example, that house that you cannot afford right now is going to be on sale in a few months. And if it is, you can scoop it up on a deal. Or your favorite
Okay, I can't even listen to this though, cut him off. Because if you have money, everything's on sale. If you don't have money, you're making less than you were before. You're not doing good, okay? And a lot of these houses that'll be on sale is because the families that lived there got priced out and got kicked out of them. Didn't even move by choice, forced out.
stocks like Nvidia are going to be on sale. And if they are, you get to go and scoop it up while everyone else is
Oh, stocks. I wish I had money for stocks. I'm trying to fill up the fridge right now. I'm trying to put gas in the tank so I can get to work, so I can continue paying the bills and keeping the lights on that just doubled, like we said in the last video. People who have money they've been living in such a different type of lifestyle. They don't really understand realistic world problems, I don't think.
out there panicking. And if you're really smart about all of this, you're making your job easy. You're using AI to help you find all of these deals.
Let me use AI to go wash the dishes at my dishwasher job. Let me use AI to ring up people at my cashier job. Let me use AI to bus tables and be a bartender. That's the average job in America. Let me use AI to be a trucker and go back and forth all across America to like just like deliver groceries or whatever, all the stuff they do to really make America run. Let me use AI to build a house. AI doesn't solve the problems that really make the world run around. Not quite yet.
That is exactly why we created Benton. Benton is our investing app that uses
Oh,
AI.
I didn't even. I told you I don't always watch the full videos. We're not giving a free sponsor ad here, especially not for. Now I see why he's so in love with it. Sorry guys, I should probably cut this out. Now this one's a funny one. This guy's teaching this kid about the government. He's teaching him from a young age how taxes work, and listen to how the kid reacts.
Well, because you have to pay taxes, I'm going to take 30% of it. But hold on. And you also have to pay for Social Security, so I'm going to take 38% of it.
Luckily, that won't be around. Most people don't even pay for that anymore.
So, I said I would pay you 15, but because the government comes in and is greedy, you only get 8. Isn't that the worst?
You're the worst, government.
Isn't that the worst?
Yeah.
I know.
You're the worst, government. And that's pretty much how everybody feels overall across the board, not just that kid. That's just how we all feel on the inside because we don't have the courage to show it. It's just too embarrassing because who cares? We're all facing the same dilemma. But yeah, that's the world we're all getting birthed into, is everything's getting taxed. And now people who are getting rich are going to tell you that this recession is a good thing. You struggling even worse, you were struggling already? You should feel grateful for that. But anyway, I do really want to make it clear that I really don't think it matters who's in charge. I think it really does just seem like we're living the same. Not okay, we do live differently depending on who's in charge. Different things do go into play, but overall, I think it's just all a show. Back in the day, they used to say that the Colosseum was made in Rome to distract. Like the circus, we're paying attention to the circus. We're paying attention to the Super Bowl. We're paying attention to the Grammys. All this bullshit. When there's really actual real problems going down, and all of us are facing them more and more so. So anyway, I would love to hear all your guys' thoughts, opinions regarding all this stuff down below in the comments. Kind of more conspiracy-esque related type concept today, but the recession is a real thing, and apparently it's going into full effect here shortly. So anyway, feel free to let me know all your guys' thoughts, opinions down below in the comments. I love to hear all those, and I do see and I respond to every single one that I get to. So thank you for that, and thank you for all the support around here. A huge shout out to all my supporters and my Patreon supporters. You can DM me personally. You can check out my channel memberships. You can see these videos before they are accessible to the public. And shout out to everybody who rocks my content. I really appreciate all that. And I plan to pump out these videos a lot more often and really get this channel pushed out to the masses. So anyway, yeah, I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.